Hi everyone, it is Abby and Rachel. I just spent 2 minutes talking to you and then realized I didn't push the broadcast button. So hello, for real this time. I hope
It's
your week.
that kind of day.
Oh my gosh, it's that kind of week. So you guys, how are you doing? Are you also speaking into the ether? Are you doing better than me? I hope you're doing great because uh, I hope you're ahead of me. So hi, welcome to this super great session. I am so excited that Rachel's here to talk to you. One, because she has some phenomenal last minute ways to boost your online fundraising, but also because she is so positive and so fun to listen to. And I feel like that's all something we could use a little more of this week. Before I dive into everything, I just wanted to let you guys know that my name is Abby. I'm going to be standing by and moderating the questions today. So if you have any questions, let me know. We'll have time to answer questions at the end. I see a number of you who are on the line are QGIve clients. So if you have any questions about how to apply any of this to your fundraising forms or how to kind of execute any of these ideas with QGIve, let me know. I'll get you in touch with the right people. I actually see Wendy, who is one of the people who will help you out, is watching this webinar, so she'll have ideas and understand how to help too. Then just a couple of little things. I know how busy you are, and I know what a wacky week this is. If you have to leave early for whatever reason, we are going to record this webinar and you're going to get a copy of it, so don't worry about that. We'll also send you some links to all of the resources that Rachel's going to talk about today and some other cool stuff that you can use with your year-end fundraising. And then if you are a Twitter fan, go follow Rachel. She posts fantastic resources and tweets and insights all the time. She's really fun to follow, and I highly recommend it. That all being said, you are not here to listen to me talk. You're here to listen to Rachel talk, and I am going to go ahead and make her the presenter. Rachel, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today and sharing all these ideas.
Thank you for having me. I'm so thrilled to be with each and every one of you guys. We're going to have a lot of fun today, and I've got lots of goodies for you as well. So like so many goodies. So it's like Christmas came early, and we're going to have a lot of fun. This is me. I absolutely love helping people up their fundraising game. I, like Abby, am super passionate about loving on your donors, and we're going to kick things off with loving on your donors, and we're going to wrap things up with loving on your donors, because that is really the path for you to have your best end of year ever. I love training people to be better at their fundraising, and I'm super thrilled and excited to get to be with you today. You can learn more about me at my website, rachelmuir.com. When I'm not doing that, I'm raising my twins. I have a 13-year-old twins who are in virtual 8th grade, and they're doing a pretty good job for being in 5 Zooms a day. So they're in more Zooms than me. I'm going to mention this at the end, but I have a program that I do where I do a workshop every single month. And this month, we're talking about the lucrative art of thanking donors. And next month, we're going to be tightening our belts and creating a fundraising plan and a budget. In January, we're going to be digging into monthly giving. We have one webinar every single month, and if that is something that is, if these topics are something that interests you, I started this in April, and we have some amazing things that are in there. If you sign up and join, you can find out more at leagueofextraordinaryfundraisers.com. I have so many goodies that I'm going to talk to you guys about today. If we have enough time, I might be making, if we have enough time, we'll see how much time we have. If we have enough time, I might be doing a surprise donation to someone here so that I can critique the experience. But what we're going to be talking about today is how to shore up your online giving experience so that it is fantastic for your donors and a great experience that makes them feel appreciated and want to give again. And a big part of being successful doing that, and a big part of your success at end of year, is making your donors feel appreciated and letting your donors know that their gifts really do make a difference. And I've got time at the end for questions. So that's all the fun that we're gonna be having today. To make this all super easy for you, I want you to know that I have this awesome handy dandy workbook, and you can grab it for free, for absolutely free. You can go to rachelmuir.com /convert, and you can download this workbook that walks you through a lot of what I'm going to be talking about today, with lots of visual examples about what you can do to be successful converting more online gifts. So that's at rachelmuir.com/convert. It's completely free if you want to check it out. I have some questions for you guys. So Abby, let me know if you got the poll questions. If not, it's no big deal, and we can just use like the chat.
Oh, I found him in here.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so I just want to find out from you guys, like, where you're at right now. And first off, thanks for just being here with us. But I'm curious to learn more about where you're at with your appeal. So I'm asking about your end of year appeal, and I'm asking about whether you're doing direct mail and email, or just email, both, whatever, one or the other. Just, I want to know where you're at with it. Done is I did it, it's out, or it's scheduled. Draft is it's a work in progress. Not ready is I have not started writing my appeal yet. So pretty please with sugar on top, take our poll so that we know where you guys are.
It looks like we've got a pretty good split. So around a third of you people are amazing and already have it done and either scheduled or I'm stunned that you guys are amazing. 42% of you-ish have written a draft, and then around 25% aren't ready yet. So
Okay.
we've got a pretty good split.
Well, I just want to say I feel better already because I did this poll a couple weeks ago, and more than something like 60% of people, and it was like 3,000 people, 60% of them had not even started, and I was stressed out. And I didn't even work for their nonprofits, and I was stressed out for them. So kudos to my 1/3 who are done. Those of you that have a draft, I'm going to talk about this at the very end, but I've teamed up with a copywriter to do some critiques. So if that's something that you want a fundraising copywriter to do a rewrite of your appeal, if you're worrying like you don't have it well enough to take it over the finish line, you'll learn more about that. Stick around. My next poll is to find out how many appeals you send out. So this can be email, this can be mail, this can be both. But I just want to get a sense of how many appeals you sent. Just 1, 2 to 3, 6 to 4 to 5, 6 to 8. Just you pick how many appeals, whether they're emails, if you just do email or you do email and direct mail together. Just give Abby and I an idea of how many appeals you're sending out by taking our poll.
Oh, you guys are so responsive and I'm excited. So it looks like around 60% of you are sending 2 to 5. A fair few of you, around a third of you are sending 6 to 11. And then very small groups of people are sending either only 1 or are sending 12 or 15 or past. So the vast majority. So Ignacio just asked if this is for the whole year. Rachel, can you clarify?
No, end of year only. End of year only. I should have specified that. Great question, Ignacio. End of year only.
Yeah. So a couple people said that they answered for number of appeals for the whole year, but it looks like most of you are sending 2 to 5 at the end of this year. And then, yeah, it looks like you guys are sending 2 to 5 at the end of this year.
Okay, and forgive me guys for not doing a better job specifying that, but thank you for telling us your answers. Don't be shy about sending your appeal multiple times, because the ask is never a one-day affair. And the truth of this is that when you're writing all those appeals, and I get it, I write email too, I send email too. Some weeks I send 4 emails in a week. Some weeks I've sent 7. Some weeks I send 2. But you may think, oh my God, people are getting so tired of hearing from me. Your donor does not read every email that you send. And if you don't believe me, all you have to do to convince yourself is open up your email provider and look at your open rate. I guarantee you, I mean, I'm sorry, but I would be shocked if anyone in here had a 100% open rate. It's not going to happen. The nonprofit average, according to MailChimp, is 23% open rate. So you feel at the end of the year like your donors are reading all of your emails and they're going, oh my God, another email from them. you feel that way, but the truth is they don't. They only open the emails with a subject line that speaks to them, and they only give to an appeal that warms their heart or wins them over, makes them feel like they can really make a difference. And another reason to let yourself off the hook, I'm just here with your pep talk, my friends. There is no evidence that the frequency of solicitation negatively impacts retention and lifetime value. There is evidence that if you don't appreciate your donors and acknowledge your donors and tell your donors that their gift made a difference, that it will have a negative impact. But you're not going to do that because you're here with me and Abby, and I'm going to give you lots of strategies and lots of ideas and lots of help to help you be successful at doing that. But it isn't that you ask too many times. That's not how donors define over-solicitation. Donors define over-solicitation as being asked to give again before they knew that their last gift made a difference. And my last truth bomb here, I love all these people, is from Jen Love. The season to give is not a reason to give, my friends. So if type into the chat and let us know if you have been like rocking and rolling on your stewardship. I ask this question, and sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, we've done such a great job, it's going really well. This is my number one tip, my number one last minute tip, because we still have time. Thanksgiving has not happened yet, and Thanksgiving is such a killer holiday for just appreciating people and just reflecting on all that you have to be grateful for. So my number one tip for you, if you have not already done this, my fundraising friends, is to do some stewardship right now. Right now, tell your donors what they accomplished with their last gift, how grateful you are to have their support. Here's like a little just eye candy. Give your donor credit. You gave your gift to us 1 year ago, and already you've blank, some tangible thing that you can attribute their gift to. Give the donor credit. Use lots of language to make the donor feel appreciated. Every sentence in your thank you should make your donor feel amazing. It isn't about you and your report card of how great you are and what a great, what all the successful things that you made happen. It's about your donor and giving your donor credit and you don't need the credit, you need the gift. Give the donor the credit. So this is my tip for you. There's this thing, Stephen Screen refers to it as the virtuous cycle. On your shampoo bottle, it says lather, rinse, repeat. The formula in fundraising is ask, thank, report back. And so many nonprofits don't do the reporting back part. Reporting back is not your annual report. Reporting back is following up with the donor. It could be a week after they made their gift. This is on top of the thank you, on top of your awesome email autoresponder, on top of your sweet thank you card. On top of that, reporting back is actually telling the donor what their gift did. A short story, some good storytelling, maybe a photo, but ideally, and I'm encouraging you to think about this right now, because a really smart, brilliant thing to do is, for those of you who have already written your appeal, write your report back. Write that right now, because in your appeal, you have this urgent need, and you are being very specific about the challenge that your beneficiaries are facing. And you're asking for your donor to swoop in here and help meet this need. It would be so much easier and take so much less time if right now you wrote your thank you report back to your donor and you told them, thank you for responding so rapidly and generously. Tell them the need, that this is the need that you are describing in your appeal. Describe the need, tell the donor how their gift met the need. Give the donor a short story, ideally with a photo. And I'm going to show you an example of this in just a second, of how the need was met. Thank them again for meeting the need. Tell them what an important part of your organization they are and what a generous person they are. It isn't just enough to thank the donor for what they did. You want to reflect back on who they are. The goal of your thank you is to make your donors feel amazing. So this is a Boy Scout Council, and they wrote 2 different appeals. And as they were writing their appeals, I forced them to write their report back. I was like, you have your appeal, you have 2 different appeals, you have 2 different stories. One is about the girls getting their fire starter badge. The other one is about this boy who's a Boy Scout doing digital scouting, write your report back and use the same copy that you're using in your appeal, where you and thank the donor for responding quickly and generously, reflect on their kindness. A thing that you can absolutely do right now during coronavirus is reflect on how kind and generous they are to think about others in a worrying time. That's another great way that you can reflect back to your donors and compliment them on what a kind person they are. Describe the need that's facing your beneficiaries and how that donor's gift, generous gift, perfectly met the need. Bonus points for including a really short story. This is literally like one sentence about this troop getting their fire starting skills, and it's got a photo. That's my tip for you right now. Write your appeal and your report back at the same time, because your appeal tells them exactly why the gift is important, and likely has a photo, likely has a story. Write your appeal so that write your report back so that they know, oh my goodness, it really worked. Wow, my gift has already made a difference. It will make your donors ecstatically happy, and it'll save you a lot of time. And if there's anything I like doing for my fundraising friends, it's helping you save time. Don't just thank the donor for their gift, thank them for who they are, the kind, generous, compassionate person that they are. So I'm going to dig straight into boosting online donations. And I'm going to mention this at the end, but if you want a full review of your site where I make a donation to your site and I critique the experience from start to finish, taking screenshots all along the way, where I like Nancy drew my way through your website so that I can give you feedback on how you can improve it to make it a really, really good experience, that's where you can learn more. bit.ly/donor help. I did this last year. I started doing this at Black Friday, and I did it for like a month to help people get their websites ready for end of year fundraising. So if that's something that is interesting to you, if you want some help with that, just know that you can learn more about that there. So I'm going to dig in to talking about the donor experience. The donor experience is everything. And I was just on a webinar this morning that Jen Shang did, and she talked about how, we are trained to have expectations as customers from the commercial world. You buy anything online and you instantly get a receipt. I mean, in a couple of seconds, you get a receipt. You might get a UPS tracking link. You get a thank you. You get that, you maybe get some virtual high fives, and oh my goodness, Abby, you have great taste in clothing. Can't wait for this. If it's from Bowden Spotty parcel to arrive in your mailbox, we can either be sure and let us know what you think about your new outfit that you just ordered. Have a great day, whatever. But we're trained, we expect really great experiences. And on some level, you are really competing with the for-profit world. I mean, your donors expect to have really good experience. And at the end of the day, that is really all that matters. So I'm going to walk through the homepage. I'm going to walk through the whole process of how we unconsciously reason. We're going to take a trip into the mind and learn a little bit about cognitive ease and cognitive strain, which I know my friend Rachel Clemens talked about recently in a webinar with you guys. I love Rachel, she's amazing. We're going to talk about the donation page. We're going to talk about mobile optimization, and we're starting right here. It all starts at home, and that's the link, rachelmuir.com/convert, where you can get I go through all this in that workbook, and you can download the workbook. So your homepage needs to have, this is for end of year fundraising, a very prominent donate button or call to action that is in a contrasting color. It needs to stand out. If your branding is all blue and green, your donate button needs to be bright red. If it's green, it's going to blend in with all the other blue and green on your page. You need to have a call to action that is above the fold, meaning you see that before you have to literally scroll down. You should only have one click, no more than two, to your giving form. And a great way, and I'm going to be showing you examples of all of this, some eye candy examples in just a second, A great option for end of year, a great option for Giving Tuesday is to have a web overlay, also known as a Lightbox, also known as a homepage hijack, where you have a web form on your homepage that is driving people to your donation page. And I'm going to show you an example of exactly what that looks like. But that is a, this can also be a pop-up. Love them, hate them, they completely work. And this is something really useful for you to have end of year. And I just want to say really quickly here, so many people have pop-ups on their homepage, and you might be one of those that you've forgotten about. You haven't gone to your homepage in 5 minutes, and you forgot about that pop-up that's promoting your virtual event, or that pop-up that's promoting your newsletter signups. Well, you need to check all of that out, and you need to be driving donors with a compelling call to action. Over last year, and if you see my stats in here, I have written, like a lot of places, 60% of people who visit your homepage won't go on to make a donation. It's actually, new research is, it's actually up as high as 70%. And a lot of times it's because we don't have a compelling call to action, and we're not doing a good job with the ask on our homepage to get donors to do it. So again, you have all this advice in your download. I'm going to walk you through some examples. This is a prominent donate button. You can see it's bright red. It says donate. This is above the fold. This is Nashville Rescue Mission. They do a great job. They are a great organization, and they are a really great example of an organization that's doing a fantastic job raising money with their newsletter. But they're doing a great job here. You can see this is a prominent donate button. It's in a contrasting color, and it is above the fold. This is a great example from Big Brothers Big Sisters. So the only thing that I would change, the only critique I have of this homepage is I wish that she was looking directly at the camera. I want, in all of your images, I want that person's eyes to be looking straight at the camera. In your appeal, on your homepage, whether it's a puppy dog or a human being, I want them looking at the camera. It's much, much more powerful if you have them looking at the camera. But this contrasting colors do a lot to really stand out. This is Lady Freethinker. How cute is this puppy? And how cute is this donate button? It's orange, which is the perfect color to contrast with the other branding on this page. And it's got that cute little heart in there. And it's really, really obvious. It's a larger font. It's more obvious. It's the biggest button on this page, and it's very obvious, and it stands out in a really beautiful, clean way. This is Kauai Habitat for Humanity. I almost went to Hawaii this year. I didn't because of COVID. That would have been amazing, but I can still look at their beautiful webpage. But you can see that they've got the donate. Their donate button is lime green. It's contrasting all the other colors on their page. We've got the Lanai Cat Sanctuary, and that orange fits in with their branding, but it stands out on their page. So it needs to stand out. It should be obvious. This is an example from Meals on Wheels of Central Texas. And you can see that on, and this is, I'm going to show you, I've got the pre-COVID and then the COVID example. Okay, this is the pre-COVID. This was their homepage last year. So you can see that they are promoting their monthly giving program on their homepage, and they have provide more than a meal, ensure that seniors' most vital needs are met. So you're telling me what my gift is going to do right there, and I just click on that button. It's got a pre-filled amount. I click on that button, and I'm off to go make a donation. They're recruiting volunteers for their routes, and they're recruiting donors, and they've got, it's clear and it's obvious. This is their homepage now. So it is, in line with these times. They're wearing masks, and they've changed their call to action: help homebound seniors and provide shelf-stable meals during COVID-19. So really great examples of, compelling call to action, very, very clean. This is Boys and Girls Club. This is, I'm sure they've updated this. This was like a year ago or 2 years ago. But the thing I want to stress here is they have a carousel. So with carousels, typically people are going to not see your carousel past like the second rotation, visibility drops off dramatically. If you use carousels, worth noting that. But they're using their carousel to drive attention to their match. And they've got two calls to action. They've got the donate now button at the top. They've got the match, and they also have ways to give in their top navigation. So there's two donate calls to action on this page, which is fine. You're totally fine to have two. This is an example from Best Friends, who does not love a fuzzy orange kitten. I posted a photo yesterday in my Facebook feed, just of Dolly Parton cuddling an orange fluffy kitten, because why not? Why not have some Dolly and a kitten in our day? I mean, I'm happy just thinking about it. But I love orange kittens, and I love cats, and I love animals. But this is really great. You can see they've got ways to give. They've got you donate one time, monthly, in memory and honor right up there. And then they have suggested ask strings. They're really making it very easy and very obvious. This is not the time to be coy. This is the time we're going to be really direct. This is a donate banner that Amnesty International did, and it follows you on every single page. So by the way, I've got the slides up if any of you guys want to download the slides, and I also have the guide up, and that guide is just on converting more online gifts. So I mentioned to you Lightboxes, aka pop-ups, aka shadowboxes. Love them, hate them. They work, friends. They totally work. I use pop-ups all the time, year-round, every day on my website. Every day I've got a pop-up. If you don't like it, you can close it, but it's a pop-up. I have this monthly program I do. It's a different URL than my rachelmuir.com. So my pop-up is my way to direct people. Oh, I could work with Rachel and I could learn from her in this way. Oh, I'll go check that out. So, you may hate these. You may hate when you go to a site and there's pop-ups, but these work. And this is an extremely important tool that you can leverage for Giving Tuesday if you're participating in Giving Tuesday. And it's an extremely important tool that you can use for end of year. You could use it for the whole month of December. You could use it just for December 31st. You could use it for the last week. I see a lot of organizations have a big Giving Tuesday one. Of course, it's up all day on Giving Tuesday. It is a way to really direct people's eyeballs to your donation page. You're going to use your best image, the best image you have, and you're going to have a very clear call to action. So this example from the Humane Society, I have to close that little X box if I want to click away from Ricky Bobby, who's so cute. I can hardly stand it right now. I would have to close that box. So you may hate these, but they work. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about unconscious reason. Sound fun? Let's go deep into our brains, my fundraising friends. So, we think as human beings that we are really rational, but we're really emotional decision makers, and a huge amount of our decisions, as in like, if I had a photo of an iceberg right now and you only saw like a teeny tiny tip of it coming out of the water, but like 99% of the mass was under the water, that could be your brain. And all of that is your unconscious brain thinking. And cognitive ease basically is Pinterest. Pinterest is like clean and it's beautiful and it's really great UX design. And I used to look at Pinterest when Pinterest first started before I went to bed at night, just to like calm myself down. Then I had to stop doing that because there were too many like, craft ideas with your kids, and I was starting to like feel like a bad mom that I hadn't like, made these cute balloon lollipop things or other such nonsense, which is ridiculous. But Pinterest is a great example of cognitive ease. The easier it is for us to do something or read something, the more positive we feel about it. So if you're going to be recruiting volunteers, if you're going to be asking for money, you need to be making that experience so easy and so fluid and so seamless. And there's some subtle things you can do to help here as well, like using trust logos and symbols on your donation form, having a pre-filled gift amount, showing donors we've got a match. That means your $50 gift becomes $100, like literally doing the math for them. And you might be like, Well, that's ridiculous, Rachel. They're adults. They can do the math themselves. That's like the silliest thing I've ever heard. But that's part of the magic of matching gifts, is showing me my $50 gift can be $100. And cognitive ease is doing the work for them. Cognitive strain is anything that makes you do the work yourself, like 33% discount or 5% discount, or CAPTCHA. I hate CAPTCHA. CAPTCHA drives me nuts. CAPTCHA is also so cruel for people with disabilities that can't read the sidewalks and everything else. Some people use CAPTCHA because they are worried about hacking, but I want to help you feel more confident. You don't have to worry about that, and you don't have to use CAPTCHA. And there's a lot of studies that show that you don't, and it really reduces people closing their gifts if they run into having to prove that they're a human being and not a robot, and they have to spend like 20 minutes clicking through images of sidewalks to select all the images of sidewalks. I mean, they're not going to do it. They're just not going to do it. It's a huge turnoff. Making anyone do computations in their head, all those things decrease confidence, and they can cause suspicion. So some examples of this on our donation form is requiring a login, having too many fields, having unnecessary fields, having inconsistent branding, like sending me to PayPal. So these are some examples of cognitive strain. Believe it or not, my fundraising friends, these are actual examples from my adventures, Nancy Drewing my way last year during the month of November and into December through nonprofit websites, making donations and critiquing the experience and reporting back to them. So many people were floored to realize how many obstacles they had thrown up preventing their donors from making a gift. Now, you can do this yourself. You can just go make a donation on your page and critique the experience. And you should do that. You should mystery shop your own organization. Requiring a login or requiring that I sign up in order to make a donation is an invitation for me to not make a donation. Just because awesome software platforms like QGive have oodles of options of when you want a donation to recur, whether it be weekly or monthly or quarterly or yearly or every other year, every third year in a blue moon or whatever else, it doesn't mean you want to give your donors all of those decisions to make. There is such a thing as choice fatigue. And if you've ever tried to pick out towels at Bed Bath and Beyond, and you've been greeted by that wall of like 6,000 towels, you're like, oh my God, this is why I hate running errands, right? Like, I can't even handle this. That's too many choices. Too many choices paralyzes people, and it gives us fatigue. And if you think of, just think about all the decisions that you make in a day. You're going to work. Am I going to eat a healthy breakfast, or am I going to have a donut? We're going into a meeting. Am I going to type questions into the chat, or am I not going to? Am I going to call my colleague out for this really bad tone in their email, or am I going to let it go? My goodness, you probably go through like 50 decisions in an hour. And as the day wears on, it gets harder and harder to make good decisions, which is why you're like, oh my goodness, is it happy hour yet? Like, yes, let me have the pineapple jalapeno margarita, or let me have some chips and salsa, when maybe I wasn't going to do that because I was trying to do, I don't know, keto or something, or be good, or to work out instead. We have to make a lot of decisions, and you want to reduce the amount of decisions that your donors have to make. Just because PowerPoint comes with an insane amount of options, and we don't use them all. Engineers built PowerPoint, and they gave it more bells and whistles than anyone is ever going to use. And you shouldn't use all of their functions, because if you do, you could literally give someone vertigo. Who wants to watch a presentation where words are like spinning around on the page, right? It's too much. So don't overwhelm. There is such a thing as choice fatigue. It's real. Please do not use CAPTCHA. It's cruel, it's overwhelming, it suppresses giving. This is an example of an organization My friend Muriel was the executive director. She's no longer at Night of Peace, but she was executive director of Night of Peace. And this was their page about their services. So really clean. You know, this is a family shelter, so they're not going to have photos of the actual clients they serve, or if they did, it would be from behind. It wouldn't show their faces, right? Totally appropriate. But you can see this is very clean. This is easy to read. I see the butterfly there. I see the doors. I feel a sense of tranquility and peace looking at this. So this is their page about the services that they offer. Ironically, this was their donation page. So they have these like strange like images pieced together on this banner. They've got their fundraising campaign number, this Facebook like button. It's really, then they've got this bold text, and it's very, very incongruent, and there's a lot of cognitive strain and a lot that creates a lot of cognitive dissonance. I mean, it's like night and day. This is very clean. This is very simple. The truth is their donation page should look like this. It should just have one sentence, why the gift is needed, what it'll do, and the gift amounts. This is like a mess. This is just literally a mess. It's not nice to look at. This is an example of what you want it to look like. I love this photo. I love how they're looking directly at the camera. I love these beautiful women, their beautiful smiles. And I love these gift amounts, and I love this need statement. They're telling me what their call to action at Hope Services, your support will improve the quality of life for individuals with developmental disabilities and mental health needs. And then they're telling me what my gift is going to do. My gift pays for supplies and salaries that aren't covered by state funds. Okay, that's awesome. Short reason to give, one sentence reason to give. This is perfect. This is beautiful. Very clean. Love this image. I love they're beautiful smiles, so friendly, so warm, so approachable. This is the great wall of text. This is a donation page, and look at this. It's literally like 5 pages. I'm sorry, pages. 5 paragraphs before I get to the ask. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to read 5 paragraphs. I'm not. Also, these kids look really happy, and I'm not sure why my gift is important or what it's needed. And I'm not giving to have a name like Roper or Bronco. I'm giving to know that I can make a difference. I'm giving to like preserve some history of Maui, or help teach kids about the beautiful history of Maui, or whatever it is. But one sentence call to action and gift levels. Okay, no one is going to read those 5 paragraphs. No one is going to read it. So now we talked about the homepage. Now we're talking about the donation page. It needs to be mobile optimized, needs to have consistent branding. Again, this is all in your workbook. Short reason to give, 1 sentence, 2 sentences max, no great wall of text, no 5 paragraphs. One-time gift, monthly gift. Those are the options. We're not going to give them semi-annual, once in a blue moon, once every other year. Give once, give monthly. Have some suggested giving levels. If you can, highlight one. Have some trust logos. I encourage you to have a phone number on the footer of your page. I also encourage you to have the option to designate the gift, especially at end of year, but always it's nice. So again, this is an example. This is Lady Freethinker. We saw Lady Freethinker's page a little bit earlier with the adorable orange donate button. Support the fight against cruelty. So that's the call to action. Donate now, 2-sentence call to action. We've got give one time, we've got give monthly. The only thing I would do would be to pre-fill one of those gift amounts. But this, and she's got the logo here, down here. So just very simple, very easy to do. Reason to give, have a trust logo, have an ask string, make sure there's the option to make it monthly. And I would personally, like, I don't know about you, but I've gone to some sites where it was, if your default, if I would default to make it a one-time gift, but if you decide that you're going to default it to make a monthly gift, you need to make it really, really clear, because there have been a few times where I have donated, and they didn't make it clear that it was monthly. And then I was like, oh wait, that was monthly. I didn't realize that. So if your default is monthly, you need to make that really clear. But I also encourage you to tell your donors, if you're not seeing a lot of donors sign up for monthly giving, you may not have given them a reason. You need to give them a reason. How much more good could their gift do if they made it monthly? Give them a reason. I like this social proofing right here where they say most people are giving $50 right now. So that's an example of social proofing. So I'm going to talk about mobile optimization, and that is, my friends, where you can get the slides and where you can get the guide. I'm going to talk really briefly about mobile optimization. I'm going to show you landing pages, and then I'm going to show you some stewardship hits and failures. So this is an example of a mobile optimized website. It's designed so that you can easily scroll through and find what you want on a teeny tiny screen using your finger, right? Whoops, sorry, I clicked way too fast right there. Most people, 70%, are reading their email on mobile. And you may think that everything just looks fantastic on your website, and I'm sure that it does, but you should look at your website on your mobile device and just see how obvious is that donate button. So over on the right, you're seeing Feeding America. On the left, you're seeing an organization that I completely adore, Love Not Lost. I critiqued their site last year. It's an amazing organization founded by an incredible woman named Ashley, who sadly lost her daughter. And she started a nonprofit organization. She's the founder to take photos of people so that they have memories of their loved ones before they say goodbye to their loved ones, so that they have a memory of them to always cherish. So it's a beautiful mission. She's amazing. And when I did this critique, you know, that in order to find the donate button, I had to go over here to where those 3 lines are. And then when I did that, that was the menu that I got. So you want it, but look over here at Feeding America. There's 2 huge, super obvious donate calls to action. You just need to be mindful of that, because, you know, you may have written the best email appeal with the best subject line, but if they are reading it on a mobile device and it's not obvious where your donate button is from your homepage, they may not find it and they may lose them. And that's why 70% of donors who go to your site won't end up converting to make a gift. So these are some examples of some thank you landing pages. And the thank you landing page is unsung gold mine for you. It is the #1 most underutilized part of your website. But this is the page after I make my gift. After that's done, I've completed my gift, I'm taken somewhere on your site. Sometimes I get redirected back to the home page if people didn't think about it. But what you should do is have a nice page that celebrates me, that is helping amplify that post-gift glow that I'm wearing. I love this one from Tutors and Learning. Thank you, Amanda. Yes, that's sweet. Some nice personalization there. Oxfam has a video that I can play. This is Red Cross's. Your donation is on its way to change lives. That makes me feel like I'm already doing some super awesome good. And of course, there are these social sharing buttons, which is huge if you're participating in Giving Tuesday, because Giving Tuesday is a social sport. Don't ask for another gift on your thank you landing page. And just because your fundraising software comes out of the box with a 1-sentence thanking that's pretty, you know, just says thank you for your donation of blank, doesn't mean that's all you should write. You know, you have the opportunity to make the donor feel absolutely fantastic. So this is a quick summary of all the tips to help you be successful with your online giving. Make your donation form clearly visible on your homepage and one click away. Have a 1-sentence call to action. Use a Lightbox, especially on Giving Tuesday, especially on the last week of the month. Use a web overlay to make it super obvious. Call attention to your campaign. This is going to sound like, well, duh, Rachel, but make sure that every single link works. Every single link needs to work. You would be horrified how many websites I've gone to for end of year and the link didn't work. The link to the donation form didn't work. It breaks my fundraising heart. No global navigation on that donation form. You don't want to, you want to take me off of that page. You want to keep me there till I finish making my gift. Minimal steps to confirmation. Have a prominent ask for people to make it monthly, but tell them how much more good their gift will do. You can feed a hungry child for a year if you make your gift monthly, and use those security certificate logos. So I'm going to show you some really awesome examples of thank yous. And so I don't know if you want to post questions into the chat for me. For some reason, GoToWebinar it's not letting me see the questions box. Sometimes GoToWebinar is not nice about that. I love this donor-centric monthly giving receipt. There's one organization that I give a monthly donation to, and they have the same one sentence every month, and I really should stop giving to them. Because it's so terrible and it's really frustrating to me. I do love their mission, but it's really making me mad. Change out your monthly giving copy every month, okay? Just sit down if you're me, with a venti Starbucks and come up with 12 different awesome messages, okay? Just change it up, or come up with 3 and give yourself a reminder in 3 months to go back. But I love this. So this is a Humane Society. They swap out the pictures every month. It's like a different photo. I love that whole idea of just popping a photo into a monthly giving receipt. That's a genius idea. But what I did here, you guys, and Bloom. So I'm going to type this and I'm going to type this into the chat, and I'm going to and that way I can let Abby share it, because this is so awesome. This is, you can copy and paste your text into that link, bloomerang dot, it's CO, sorry, it's CO. But I think that should still work. But Bloomerang, yeah, the Ahern audit is amazing. Bloomerang.co/Ahern audit, and it'll tell you how many times you used donor-centric words like you versus org-centric words. You can have twice as many yous as you do us, we. What I did in this is I went and underlined all the times they used you. Then I drew arrows next to all the times that they said something sweet about me. First, they called me kind-hearted. Then they called me big-hearted. And those are all, don't just thank me for what I did. Thank me for who I am, because your communications are a mirror. How am I going to look in that mirror? I also love this sign off, Sam and the Rescues. It sounds like a band. It's just like totally adorable. And I love the use of the photo. This is another real donation. I made a donation and I got this adorable thank you card with Ryan's business card, and he wrote on the back, and I love the happy face that he drew, and he just underlined thank you and thank you, and so beautiful. I just love them. I'm so grateful to them. This is so sweet, and it just made my heart sing. So simple, so easy to do. Include a business card, write a little note on the back. They're not going to call you. This is a really nice, but heck, maybe they do. Maybe Santa leaves them something extra under the tree. I love using photos in email autoresponders because it's a super nice way to make it stand out. Your communications are a mirror to your donor. They see themselves. How are they going to look? Every sentence. How can I make them feel good with every single sentence? I mean, have you ever had someone make you feel too good? I don't think so. Have you ever been overthanked? Have you ever felt like, oh my God, that person just made me feel like too appreciated? And also, we actually don't ever get tired of hearing how great we are. And another thing, just lay this in there, throw this in there. Why not? I'm especially thankful you chose to make your gift now. The fact that in time that's so worrying and stressful for everyone, you chose to think about others speaks volumes about who you are. Who you are. So don't just thank them for what they did. Thank them for who they are. Reflect back on what a kind person they are. So I'm going to share some misses here. And these are some things that people did wrong. This is a real autoresponder that I got. So what do you think is missing here, my friends? What do you think is missing? And feel free to, okay. Well, I'll give you a hint. There's a little yellow button. This is why I want you to mystery shop your own donation form. I want you to mystery shop and make a donation to your own organizations, just so you can make absolutely sure that this is all working on your end, just to make absolutely sure, because you never know, you might have intended to put someone's name there. Sometimes personalization tags go wrong. I'm a big fan of using personalization tags, but this is life, and this is 2020, at least for another couple months. Stuff can go wrong. So make sure that you test it. I literally got this in the subject line. Thanks for your donation from all of us at organization. That was literally the subject line of a donation that I made. So if you want some help, I'm going to share in a minute how I can help you. But these are real things. I'm not making this up. Real experiences that I've really had. What's missing here? Does anyone see what's missing from this? I made a donation I went to their event, virtual event. I made a donation. Type into the chat if you see something that's missing. And this kind of broke my heart, because a nice person took the time to actually write me a really nice letter. A really nice person took the time to handwrite an actual thank you, but I don't know who they are, because it just says Girl Scouts of Central Texas. And I can't build a relationship with the Girl Scouts of Central Texas. Had it been the ED, had it been the development director, had it been a board member, I mean, it could be a volunteer. But it wasn't. It was just from the organization. And it's sad, because they spent time and energy on this. This is loaded with some low-hanging fruit ideas for stewardship. I could do a whole training just on stewardship. I'm really passionate about stewardship, so that's loaded with lots of ideas. So I guess, Abby, let me know if we want to switch to questions. We've got like 10 minutes left, and I guess you're going to have to read the questions. It's not giving me the options to see them in like the little pod, but I do want to share a few things. I was going to do a donation, and I was thinking about doing that, but there may be a lot of questions, so I'll let you decide, Abby, if we have a lot of questions and you want to ask them or paste them. I don't know if you can paste them into the chat. If you can paste them.
We have some really great ones, but they're pretty straightforward. So let's start and just see where we go.
Cool.
So Amanda had one that was really interesting. I know you talked about pop-ups working really well on desktop. How do pop-ups work on mobile?
Yeah, so they should work fine on a mobile device, but it's definitely something that you need to test, because what you see on your desktop isn't the same as what you're going to see on mobile. And like, if you look at if I make something, I use some different platforms. I use WordPress, I use Squarespace, I use Kajabi, and there are different settings in some of those platforms for people viewing it on a mobile device. And I can change the experience on a mobile device to make something, to change the formatting. So it's something that you should test, and you can't assume that it looks the same on your desktop as it does on a mobile device. So I would say just test it so that you know, and make sure that it's easy too on that mobile device for people to close it so that they can move on to the site if they don't want to see it. But I would just say test it, because mobile, the controls that you have for mobile are completely different. You can test all of this. Obviously, it's ridiculously easy to just test looking at it on your mobile device, but there's also lots of platforms that you can use, like to test your emails in every single different browser and every single different platform, so you can see what your email looks like, whether someone has Outlook or Chrome or Gmail or whatever else they're using. So my advice would just be test it.
Okay, that's a good point, especially the point about being able to close the pop-up. I've landed on some some pages where the pop-up looked great, but I couldn't close it. So that's a good thing to check. The next one is also based on design. So Kara asked, what are your thoughts about having an image next to each gift amount or suggested gift amount?
So yeah, that's only, I feel like that's kind of overkill, like having an image next to each gift amount. I feel like if you have a short description, that's good. But if you had an image next to, because the thing about doing something like that is all of your images would need to look consistent. Like right here, okay, these are like workshops that I'm doing. This looks consistent. Like this is the same image. This is pretty similar branding, same font, but with images, like if I was using an image instead of titles here, there would have to be continuity with colors and images and branding, or else it would look like it would be cognitive strain, and it would be so my advice is, I feel like sometimes people can get a little carried away with their creativity on the gift strings, and it needs to be believable. Like, like if you tell me, I don't believe that I could solve world hunger with $25. It's just, I can't. The problem is way deeper than that. So it needs to be believable. Like my $250 donation is going to give cleft lip surgery to a kid in a developing country. I can believe that. I could believe that surgery costs $250. Sure, that's believable. And it needs to be like grounded in reality and somewhat believable. And I don't think that, I would say, like, at minimum, you need a 1-sentence call to action on your donation form, no more than 2 sentences, and you can just have gift amounts. You don't have to have what the gift is going to do. You can, but you don't have to. And you certainly, I personally don't really recommend images, because I feel like it's too many opportunities for that to go wrong. And this is all about making life easy, right? So we're gonna focus on stuff to make it easy.
That makes a ton of sense. It also, unless you do it right, can slow your load time way down, which is another big thing. So we've answered some questions around online giving, and now I have a question that kind of combines online and offline. So Joanne left me a really cool comment. She received an update, like you suggest, from a nonprofit that she had supported, and she noticed 2 things. She noticed that she was waiting for them to make an ask, because it's a letter and she always gets an ask when someone sends her direct mail. And she also noticed that there was not an envelope. And so she feels like she read it more since there wasn't an envelope than she would have had there been one. So she said, especially for organizations that have not done a good job thanking or reporting back, if you're going to send an update and a report at the end of the year that kind of accompanies an ask, should you include an envelope? Should you not include an envelope?
Okay. Yeah. So with your newsletter, definitely include an envelope. But what I'm talking about is, and it's like, I want to stress to everybody, I want you to, this is the virtuous circle. You ask, you thank, and then you report back. And reporting back, the formula that I gave you is literally like 1 page, and it's like, I'm going to say 5 things. I'm going to thank the donor for responding quickly. I'm going to tell them how their gift perfectly met the need. I'm going to maybe include a photo. I'm going to maybe include a short story about somebody I helped. I'm going to reflect back on what a kind person they are. I'm going to tell them how much I appreciate them. Like, okay, that was 6 things. But that's the formula, right? It can be a letter. It could be an email. If you don't have their mailing address, it could be an email. You could even do it as like a stewardship series and do a couple really thoughtful, sweet emails like that. But it's letting them know, oh, that really did something. Like, my gift really did something. It's not an ask. It is November 5th. It's been a long week. A week we'll never forget. It's November 5th, and you have time to do this. And you will, if you send your donors if you get jazzed and pumped and excited right now, and you send that to your donors, and then they get your appeal, they will give more than if you never sent them that. And if you don't believe me, test it. But you're just sending out a 1-page love. It's just a donor love bomb. It's literally just loving on the donor, and it's that same formula I just shared. You know, thanking them, reflecting on what a generous person they are, telling them how their gift this year perfectly met the need, what a great thing it did, how it helped somebody. Have a photo. Its only purpose is to make that donor feel appreciated. I don't want you to ask for a gift. I don't want you to include an envelope asking for a gift. It's just, you can throw your business card in there. I'm super fine with you putting your business card in there, but its only purpose is warming them up. My friend Mark Rovner refers to this as harvest time. And it's like this, you know, fundraising is a garden, and this is like you putting some water, you're giving the donors some sunlight, some water. And if you do that kind of stuff, when your end of year appeal comes around, they'll respond to it because they'll believe in you, and they'll believe that giving to you actually makes a difference, and giving to you really, really works. And it's not just a drop in an endless bucket. Like this organization I'm giving to, they're not telling me anything about what my gift did at all. And I'm like, why do I should stop doing this. You know, it's not a pleasant experience.
Oh.
I will stop giving. But there's so many great orgs to give to, and I don't know, I can't see the questions, so you can let me know if there are more questions. I'm happy to stick around and stay after and answer more questions and make sure everyone's questions get answered. I'm also happy if anyone wants to share their URL with you and have me make a donation and critique the process. I'm happy to do that. If you are like late to the end of your bus, I have a lot of goodies in the program that I mentioned, the League of Extraordinary Fundraisers.com. What are you thinking in terms of questions, Abby? Do we have more that you want me to answer, or should I make a donation and critique the experience?
Let's do the donation and critique the experience.
Awesome.
I think that it's something that would be fun for a lot of people. And Jenna was the very first person to get her URL to me. Should I just send that over to you and we'll do that?
Yeah,
one?
pop it in the chat. Pop it in the chat. And while she's doing that, you guys can download the slides at rachelmuir.com/handouts. Ooh, cool. I'm gonna pull this up. Oh, awesome. Oh, this is very cool. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up and share my screen. And I want to mention too, that's my email, that's my website. You can learn more about me at rachelmuir.com. And I want to mention this too, for everyone who has a draft, if you have a draft and you would like a professional copywriter to work their magic fingers on it, I can help you out with that. I built this with my friend Sarah, who's a fundraising copywriter, because I really wanted to help more nonprofits get better at writing end of year appeals. So basically, you submit your draft and she gives it a makeover. So, so if you're interested in that, that's where you can learn more about it. And I'm going to do a new share here and share. Okay, so I'm going to do pause, and then I'm going to do, okay, I'll move this over here, and here we go. La la la. Let's see here. Maybe if I do this, does that work?
If you go up to sharing and have that open where you should see like a pause button, you can switch which monitor you're showing. There you go.
Okay, cool. Okay, sweet. Okay, so yay. I'm not going to pronounce this right. Maybe you know how to pronounce it, but this, what do you think? You give it a stab, Abby.
Jenna, I'm sorry if I say this wrong. I would say it blue balls.
Okay, so the nature preserve, Fox Cities, yay, Fox Cities. Okay, so here's what I noticed right away. Okay, so and while, like, she sent me this and I clicked on it, and then while I was doing my cool tech here, changing my screen, then that's when this this button, the bottom right, this click here to donate, give the gift of nature popped up. So there's a lot going on. She's got a rotating carousel that's promoting weddings, it's promoting education and me planning my visit and team building. And so I've got 3 rotating and 4. Now there's a need for a nature movement. So there's 4 items in a rotating carousel: weddings, planning a visit, recreation, and a movement. And then over here on the right, I've got this click here to give a gift of nature. That's a lot. What my advice right now is, I mean, have your rotating carousel. I mean, you really, honestly, if we're being honest here, I'm guessing that half of these things aren't even happening. You're probably not doing team building programs right now. You're probably not doing weddings right now. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But you don't want to be promoting a nature movement right now. You want to be promoting people donating to you at end of year. So I would turn off the carousel, and I would have this girl looking straight at the camera with the binoculars who's happy and out there in nature. And I'm just going to stress here, okay, these kids are looking at the camera too. That's great. But this kid, but they're all next to each other. Those kids' heads are really next to each other. And it's making me think about, and those kids, that's stressing me out too, because I'm thinking about germs and I'm thinking about COVID, and I'm not even feeling good about, frankly, any of those images. So my advice, friends, have this awesome girl with the binoculars be what you see right here, and it's give the gift of nature. So I'm going to click on this. I clicked on the girl, and lovely, way to go. Oh, you guys are awesome. Your donation. Okay, so here we go. So your donation helps fund our educational programs and makes it possible to keep our trails open to the community 365 days a year. Awesome, sweet. Okay, very cool. Give the gift of nature today. Very nice work. If I were not like, I might tweak this a little bit. I might think about what your end of year appeal says, because I bet it's just a little more crisper. But that's awesome. And I would think about, maybe there's a way on this that you want to say a 1-sentence call to action, and maybe right here next to the donation frequency, maybe you could have a cute little arrow, and it could say like, make it monthly. And maybe if I make it monthly, then I like make year round, maybe if by making it monthly, I can make your educational program available to 1 kid year round. I'm guessing the offer needs to be something that is like believable, and something that I want to do. But nice work. These are good ask strings, and I love this photo. It looks a teensy bit grainy for me, so I don't know if this is, maybe you want to upgrade that image, but I could be just being picky here. It looks a tiny bit grainy, but pretty good. So I'm gonna include my information here, and yeah, okay. I'm gonna scroll over here. Okay, good. I'm doing that. Yay, that worked. I just don't, I'm just being private about my credit card here. So here we go. I'm just entering in my credit card information, friends. Nothing to see here, doing all my own stunts. Okay, awesome. So now that I've entered my credit card and you can't see it anymore, I'm going to enter in my billing address, and I'm going to hit complete transaction. Doom, doom, doom. Here we go. Awesome. Okay. Thank you for supporting our organization. You donated $25. Share your donation. Okay. Okay. So, I mean, there's an opportunity there to say a little bit more than just that. I would say like, look what you're, just a little, I would do a little bit more, like, thanks to you, your gift is immediately going to go to work doing blank. We're so grateful to you for doing this. We're especially just want to thank you for being, you're so kind and compassionate for doing this. I mean, I would just say a little bit more than just literally one sentence. Oh, that would be my advice. Let's see what happens when I share my donation. Okay. So what I'm looking for here is, okay, nice. Okay. Okay, so I didn't know that you had a fundraising goal. It says here, I just gave $25 to support the Bulbul's Nature Preserve. Join me and help them reach their goal. So I like I just gave $25 to do this. Join me, but I didn't know you had a goal, and I don't know what the goal is, and I don't know what my role is in that goal. So I would make this, join me, your $25 gift will do X. I would do something like that. And this is something that you really need to think about now, because if you're participating, and I don't know if you are participating in Giving Tuesday, but that people are going to be using that on Giving Tuesday. So I want to say kudos for having some thoughtful text here, because a lot of organizations don't think about, I think you still need to think about the text, because that second sentence isn't clear at all. But kudos for having some thoughtful text here. A lot of organizations don't do anything here. And what happens is that it defaults to using the first sentences of your donation page, which may not be a call to action to give. So I just am going back to the page. So this is the thank you landing page. I would do a little bit more. This is, right now, you're just not taking advantage of that real estate to really make the donor feel great. I would just put in a little more copy. If you can add in a photo, maybe a photo of a kid outside, and like like I showed that example of the kid with the hands that were dirty because she was out in nature, and it was like an outdoor education. Okay, so this is really sweet. So I'm gonna show my inbox right now. I don't want anyone to freak out. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I do not practice zero inbox. I don't do it. I've never done it. I mean, I did it once a long time ago, and then the inbox got all busy again. I don't practice zero inbox, so don't freak out or lose your mind. I have more important things to do than cleaning out my inbox, obviously. But I like that subject line. Thank you for making a difference. And I love this photo. This photo makes me feel really happy. I still am, like, thinking about kids, and I'm thinking, I can't help it, I'm thinking about the screaming. This is a great photo before COVID. This is a great photo, but maybe there's a picture of a happy kid in nature having a blast where they're just by themselves, because I'm thinking about those kids screaming, and I'm thinking about germ transmission, and it's just, so we want to make sure that we're sensitive to all of our images in this, pandemic world that we're living in. I love this sentence. Way to go. Thank you you really made me feel good. So this rocks. This is really, really nice copy. Really nice copy. You've made a gift that truly makes a difference. Thank you for giving and inspiring others. You don't really know that I've inspired others. Okay, thank you. I can log in. Can't wait to share all the differences. Okay, this is kind of interesting. We cannot wait to share all the differences it has made and pictures of all the smiles it has created. That is super sweet. You know what might be nice, Jen, or my friend from the Nature Preserve is telling me, when do you think I'm going to hear from you next? You can look forward to hearing more from us every month, or you'll hear more in our monthly newsletter or whatever. Like, give me some expectations, because I am brand spanking new here. I just joined the family, cha-ching, and I'm sure great things are going to happen, but I am brand new to this all. So maybe give me a little sense of like what's going to happen next. Like, we can't wait to share all the differences it's going to make, and we're looking forward to communicating that to you. You'll hear from us soon in our monthly email, or whatever else. But way to go. I am super proud of you. And yay, going back this again. Yay, I love it when, I gotta say, this is one thing that GoToWebinar makes it super easy to go back and forth. Zoom has made me used to, like, moving from like a new share, but this is awesome. You guys are fantastic. I loved getting to be with you. If you need help with your fundraising appeal, that's where you can learn more about that. And that is my contact information, rachelmuir.com. I've loved getting to be with you. the highlight of my week is getting to be with Abby at the highlight of my month. Someday we'll get to be together in person. And thank you for having me as your guest. I love doing stuff with you guys at QGIve. You're amazing inside and out.
Oh, we
And
love
if there's
you. Thank you for
there's any other questions
working
you
with
want
us.
me to answer, I'm happy to do that too. If there's any questions that anyone popped in or anything.
You hit a lot of the questions that we had, and I was going to tell the rest of you, if you do have any questions that we either couldn't answer or you think of something later, you can always email me also at abby.jarvis@qgive.com. Or you can send a question to our social media channels. I know my social media manager, Melena, is probably wildly shaking her head, regretting that I said that, but I will be happy to answer any questions that occur to you. So we're here to help. You guys are doing a great job during an absolutely wild year. I hope you got some ideas. I know I got some ideas I'm going to take to the nonprofit where I volunteer. Rachel, thank you so much for your time. You're wonderful, and we love working with you.
Oh, I love working with you guys. You guys enjoy your Thursday and stay safe and stay healthy. And thanks for spending your time with me and Abby today.
Absolutely. We will talk to you later. Keep an eye on your inbox for the follow-up email tomorrow, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.